Hey guys, Shabadoobie here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Star Wars The Last Jedi. I seen this movie last night, but I wanted to give it a day to stew my brain to really get a decent idea of how much I hate or love this movie. And I will tell you right now, this is a movie that I both love and hate. Because I think it's a good movie, but a bad Star Wars movie, which is kind of odd to say, but here's why I say that. The action is amazing. The space combat is good, but there's just not enough of it in my opinion. There's some of it, but it's mostly just a big chase scene. So, The visuals were spot on, besides a few questionable animals that pop up at the end. They were kind of lacking, but for the most part, visuals are pretty good. The audio, really quite amazing. Like, I can never find fault with the audio in a Star Wars movie, so that's good. The set designs were pretty much perfect, except for one particular set, which I'll talk about in the negatives. And the cast did a great job, besides one character I'm not a big fan of, which was the Lady General woman. I don't know what her name is. I don't really care. But yeah. Overall, like, from that right there, you can see it's a good movie. But there's some negatives. The problem is most of these negatives are spoiler heavy. So from this point on, everything else will be spoilers. I'm going to tell you my score will be a 7.5 out of 10. It's kind of lowish on a scale of 1 to 10 due to these negatives being just that important to me. So here's my negatives. Plot holes. There's lots of them. I'll talk about them specifically. Character deaths are just kind of shrugged off and not really mentioned. Characters die in stupid ways. I don't like the way the characters die. Characters are just assholes for no reason. Certain ones, anyways. Half this movie, not half. There's a really, really boring part in this movie that just drags, and it's just really bad. That part is the gambler area, where it's like a giant casino city. And that is the most boring. Nothing happens in that whole area. It is value to the story. At the end of it, you do get to meet Benicio del Toro, who's a thief slash unlocker guy, who betrays him at the end. So, they could have done something much, much better than that. Like, that felt like if I was watching an anime, that was a filler episode. 100%. They just kind of Finn and a girl named Rose, who's a new girl, who's a kind of a chubby Asian girl, who is Finn's love interest in the movie. They basically go on vacation to a gambling city to look for this guy, even though they're on a time limit to get back to save their ship, which it turns out to be nothing. Like, the plan does not work at all. So yeah, Leia has. There's a part with Leia that is the stupidest moment in all of Star Wars I've ever seen. That scene was horrendously stupid. Which I'm going to talk about right here. Alright, at one point, the front of Leia's ship gets destroyed, taking out pretty much the high command of the Resistance, including Leia. They all get sucked into space and killed, except Leia's magic force powers makes her able to not die to, below zero. The vacuum in space doesn't kill her. She has ice on her, but she's able to use the force to Superman fly to the ship, and then bang on the window and get in. Which she kind of sleeps it off after a couple hours, but she does pretty well for being out in space for 30 seconds. That's pretty impressive. I don't think I've ever seen such a stupid scene in a Star Wars movie. it was one of those scenes that I got hit by shock, and then I kind of started laughing because it's like something I would see in a parody movie. It was bad. And there, I was actually talking to someone, and they told me, "Did you know, like, the whole second half of this movie would not have happened if the Lady General, a character I really don't like in this movie, decided to not be an asshole to everyone and tell the plan that the plan to save the fleet." Because if you're wondering what the main plot of this movie is, it's basically the Resistance are running away from a fleet of Star Destroyers and a dreadnought. And well, none of the dreadnought got taken out. It's a bunch of Star Destroyers and the whatever Snoke's thing is, the big ship. I don't know what it's called, but they're all being chased by that, and it's able to track them through hyperspace or light speed, and that's supposed to be impossible. And the whole time, I thought something completely different was how they was able to track them. I thought maybe he was able to track them because of the little jewel that is also like connected to Rey. Nope, not at all. It's just they got advanced technology to do it. And at one point, I also thought maybe there's a spy. Maybe the general is a spy. He's an asshole, but maybe it's because she's evil. But no, she's just stupid. Like, oh man, I hate that character a lot. But yeah, characters die in this movie, and not just die, but die in dumb ways. Admiral Akbar dies in a very almost off-camera way. I guess you technically see it for like that, because it's when the front of the ship explodes and everything gets sucked out. He's one of them. The main villain, well, the guy I thought was going to be the main villain, Snoke, he dies in the most stupid way. The super powerful guy with the Force, able to connect people's minds through the Force, through across galaxies, cannot sense that something is moving right next to him. What I mean by that is, Kylo is using his Force powers to finger a lightsaber to turn against him and beam through him. He didn't notice it at all, and he ended up getting killed. I was like, oh, he's kind of an interesting villain. He's like just really strong, and maybe they're gonna explore some backstory. No, not at all. No backstory about him whatsoever. But the little guard guys that guarding Snoke, they're pretty badass and like them a lot. They're the best action scene, and Snoke's a minus for the set design was Snoke's throne room is like made of curtains, and like one little fire just makes everything just go up in flames. It's like, why? Like, it's just like one throne in the middle of the room, and then like a magnifying glass in the corner to look outside for some reason. Like, that's his throne room. It was like I thought it was actually pretty impressive at first, but the longer it stayed in that room, the worse it got, and it looked stupider. But yeah, there's just so much like wrong with the story that I don't think I could actually talk about it in a like 10-minute video. I don't want to go longer than that though. So, like, I like the movie though. Like that's why I gave it a 7.5, because I thought it was still good. But there's so much stuff that's just stupid and could have not have been in the movie at all, and it would have been a much better movie. I had thought it was gonna go one way. It completely went another way and went like stupider. Like, I don't understand how dumb like some of the decisions in this movie is. Like, they were really bad. Like, there was a couple things I thought was pretty cool though. That I didn't really get to talk about. Like, the general lady, she turns into a Kindheart's Meriton suicide bombs into the Snoke's ship in a very interesting way. She actually like goes warp speed into the ship, like into his ship, and kind of just suicide bombs into it. And that was the first time we got to see that in Star Wars, so we now know what would happen, and it's like pretty impressive. It was actually the big thing in this movie. It's like, whoa, that was actually pretty cool. But you could have done that. Like, why have you not been doing this for like every like mission? Like, this is able to take out like big ass ships, but you don't do it. You refuse to like waste your ship to take out like a lot of ships. This is pretty impressive. Like, I thought that was a cool moment though. Alright, that's gonna be it for my review. Like I said, I gave it a 7.5 out of 10 because there's a lot wrong with this movie. I still liked it though, but it has issues, and I really want to talk about this movie in a longer video, but I can't. I got another thing I gotta watch, so peace out.